So Beth, another question I had for us to kind of talk about is, I remember when we had a chance to come meet at the property. By the way, I couldn't wait to come see it. I was so curious by the way you described the property.
Right.
I'm familiar with this area a little bit, but I didn't know this was back in here, which is kind of fun.
Yeah.
So let's talk about when we met over there and you had to kind of paint the picture of what you wanted to do.
Yeah. No, it's funny, like you said, we talked about it and I kind of described the property and the layout and the way everything was kind of already designed with pastures for the horses, and I have a neighbor who had done a lot of the kind of development of the property itself, but then the lot that I had purchased that I wanted to build on. And so I had described kind of all of that, but until you really come out and stand on the lot and look and face the pastures and see the views that you would have from the house, from those angles, I think it's hard to kind of appreciate that until you really stand here and see it. And I think once we were able to come out and walk the property and you could see it, then it really kind of started to come together and click kind of, okay, here's what my goal is, here's how I want everything to be laid out with the house and the just the orientation on the lot and the views and everything that I was trying to achieve. So I think that was really helpful.
I know when we talked about it, one of the things that I was adamant about was really wanting the home to really be the focal point from a front elevation. Obviously, when we think house and a barn, most people think you see this big barn and there's a house with it.
Right.
And I think you remember my immediate concern was we're going to work hard that when people see pictures of the house, they go, "Where's the barn?" Oh, it's over here.
Yep.
Instead of the barn being a focal point.
No, and it's funny because I think there was a good balance because you were really focused on making sure the barn didn't kind of overshadow the house. The barn was my number one priority, so in some ways it was a good kind of, we balanced it out where I wanted the barn to still be a very integral part of the project, and I think we did a great job of tying it in together with the house just in terms of the the finishes and the way it was all constructed. It looks very seamless.
Right. Yeah, we had that conversation. In fact, I recall from a budget standpoint, we kind of went down that road. Well, is it metal? Is it stick frame? How's that going to look? And I know after we looked at it, we made the decision. Obviously, you had to make that decision, but I think it was the right one. And I think now you probably agree that it was the right one of being stick frame. Yeah. Because we were able to, the same framer, same slab.
Use the same stone on the exterior.
That's right. Yeah.
Exactly.
So, yeah, it would have been much different if it was a red barn that was sticking up. That was just attached to the back of the house. So that was fun. And to your point earlier, when you do one of these projects, there's just no way that you could find a plan that would do that, right? And not only the plan, but also what we did with the floor plan of the house. So cool. Well, we'll get to more, but I really had fun that first day. I remember leaving thinking, this is going to be a fun project. So thanks.
Great.